Okay. Let me just. This is David Niren. I'm about to start a session with a friend of mine, one that I've had a couple of dozen sessions with over the years, but not for the last couple of years. And so we're reconnecting tonight to talk about consciousness, to talk about life, to explore the ways that life is meaningful to us and an experience that we love to have. So I'm about to call my friend here. Here we go.
Okay.
Hi, Richard.
Yes.
So I just I just started recording, and so I just wanted to do a little bit of an overview. So you and I have known each other 10 years now, and over those 10 years,
Yeah. Do you want me to?
Pardon me?
Do I get on the Zoom or what? Just like this?
Oh no, you're just audio, and I'm just on camera. That's all.
All right. Okay. Good.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you using my name? Do you use the name of your?
Oh, just Richard. Nobody needs to know who you are.
All right. Good.
Okay. We've had a number of sessions. Is there a subject that has been on your mind that you would like to?
Yeah, my body's in trouble.
Yeah, my body's been in trouble as well, and
Yeah. I'm pretty busy.
and in the past month, what I've done is I decided that I have to treat it like I'm in love with it. And so I actually started working out at the gym a year ago, and in the past month I've started doing stretching because my body's been so tied up and so inflexible that it made me concerned about getting old, frankly. And so my intention for myself is to be strong, to be lean, and to be limber. And to have the body be cleansed. And so the purpose of life for us should be being fully present and fully conscious, and not just of our body and our energy and our sense of self, but that thing that is true that's beyond this life, that experience, not that experience, but that consciousness that contains both the universe and eternity. So there's, in terms of the concept of God, from your Christian point of view, God's omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. And omnipresent means there's no place that God is not, which means you, in your experience of your own body, every atom is permeated through and through by the consciousness and presence of the divine, of the creator of the universe, of the consciousness that's unconditional love. And from your background and from your training and from your original point of view that you grew up with. God is unconditional love, which means God supports all life, all consciousness, everything that we want to do. You know, if we want to go completely unconscious, God says, good for you. If we want to go adversarial and destructive, God says, good for you. And if we want to know the divine within our experience of ourselves, it's already there. And all we have to do is go within and say yes to that as our experience of ourselves. It's as simple as that, but it's incredibly difficult to keep your focus there. But I'm not talking to you about a way to live your life. It's about what can you have an experiential understanding of in the moment that will change you in this moment, so that you have more freedom of choice, more freedom to be the truth of you in the future. So what you choose for yourself in this present, in this moment, is what can change the trajectory of your life. And you're concerned about your health of your body, and you absolutely should be. And there's actions that you should take, the ones that I'm beginning to make myself, and that is, you should eat impeccably. You know, if your body is the temple of God consciousness, but you don't know it, you don't experience it, you don't know your own realized divine nature as your experience and expression of yourself, then it's nobody's responsibility but yours. You know, in the scriptures, and again, I'm speaking about it in this way because of your background, but Christ said, the kingdom of heaven is within you. And that's not something that I ever really confronted in terms of, okay, so the point is that there's nothing outside of you that supersedes the experience of the eternal and the universal within your experience of yourself. It's experiencing that universal love, that eternal presence, the consciousness of the Creator that abides within you, the rest of the kingdom of heaven that finds its home in you. That experience is what changes your life. Now, a simple choice and a willingness to go in and be still and to begin to be grateful for the life that you have, for the body that you have, for the circumstances that you have, including your enemies, including the people that disappoint you, including the people that you may even find disgusting, and especially the things that we get caught up in society, you know, the oppositional political party. How could any of them be anything but nuts, you know? That's the point of view of both sides, and they're both wrong. Each one has the same truth of Christ and Buddha and Krishna. Each one of them said the same thing. You're the same as I am. Notice it. Where? Well, from Buddha, it's experience within, right? You go within and find the stillness that creates all the movement. And in that stillness, you can begin to feel the gratitude beginning to replace the frustrations that you have of life, that you have of yourself, that you have of others. And as you begin to understand that everything in your life is in fact a reflection of your consciousness, your experiences are the result of you being who you think that you are. And the universe knows that you're lying, but all the unconscious aspects of the universe, accept your lie and says, okay, you're pretending to be you, you're pretending to be this personality, you're pretending to be this life history, and so we'll treat you as that since that's what you want. So what would happen to you if you were sitting wherever you're sitting right now, and whatever occurred to Buddha under the Bodhi tree was your experience of yourself in this moment? So when you ask a question like that, it's not an intellectual one, it's an experiential one. You ask the question, and then you open up your consciousness, you open up your energy in your body, and so that you can receive the answer, and so that the answer can then begin to shift the configuration of your reality. Who are you going to be here for the rest of your life? What, if you were doing it, would make the rest of your life exquisitely worth living? Now, if there's a truth that sets the consciousness free, and that's not your experience of this moment, right here, right now, how do you? How do you open to that? How do you say yes to that? In my experience, the atomy of a miraculous experience becomes experiential when you notice that it's always been available to you, and you've simply been pushing it away and unconsciously saying no to it. Because the configuration of the limited point of view that you have of yourself isn't capable of maintaining the structure of its reality if you open that much. So if you open to a transformational shift, then everything that you're experiencing yourself to be, your sense of identity, your view of the world around you, your opinion about everyone and everything else will change. And that's a difficult thing for an ego to say yes to, because the ego's in fear, and I don't really know how other people describe the ego, but what works for me is that the ego is you, and the ego is covered up by thoughts, ideas, belief systems, attitudes, judgments, lies, confusion. And so you're supposed to accept everything. You accept your own ego. Love it. And in that love of your ego self, you begin to have an understanding, and you begin to have an experience, a greater experience of the truth of who you actually are. And layer by layer, the things that cover up the truth of you, and it's the truth of you that actually sets you free. Because if in your tradition of Christianity, Christ said, "Greater works than I have done will ye do," how in the world would that be possible unless you were as awakened, as divinely realized, as eternally free, and in the universal and eternal experience within the physical body and with the identity of you. And you don't have to do it from a Christian point of view. You could do it from a Buddhist point of view. You could do it from an atheist point of view. And how would you do that? Let's take a look. For somebody that doesn't believe in God, you know, what do they believe in? They believe in experience. And everybody is inspired by something. And it's usually something in the arts. It's either some beautiful music, or a beautiful person, or some inspiring acting, or inspiring words, or simply the presence of what it is when somebody cherishes you and loves you. So what if we could become a person that others had an experience of, where they cherish the moments that they share with you? That's the transformative experience that'll make our lives worth living. Because to come here and fight, to come here and judge others, simply puts our consciousness at a level of self-awareness so low that we have no access or memory or experience of our eternal nature at all. And it's the experience of that eternal nature, that authentic you, that changes reality. First it changes the reality of your experience of yourself. You begin to open up into peace. You begin to like being you. And in liking yourself, you begin to realize that the things that you do with your life and your time and your intentions and your purposes all want to change now. Because what are you going to regret when you die? Not loving more the people that you love. Not spending time more having precious moments. You know, eating things that make the body celebrate the fact that there's a conscious consciousness, a conscious self-awareness that isn't going to poison the body. Gives it the nutrients, nutrition, where the body is free to repair itself, free to cleanse itself. And then you add in exploring the limits of the body gently, in such a way that, you know, you can begin to move in a free-flowing manner. You know, where your movements, where your experience of your body is in consciousness. You're not moving it unconsciously, even though, you know, you kind of let the body run itself. But you're conscious of everything that's going on with it at the same time. So there's an infinite amount of potential change that's available to you. Not because you're worthy of it, but because it's simply opening into what's already real and true about you, eternally and universally. So that consciousness that you probably perceive as a God creator, whether it's an individuated one or a universal one that's everyone and everything, which is, I think, probably closer to the truth, because bodies are bodies. Bodies are not real. They come and go. So what's really real? If life comes and goes and just keeps happening and growing and expressing itself in every way possible, and you're perceiving reality through one of those life forms, then you're perceiving a creation, a temporal experience. But what if you open to experiencing the eternal and the universal at the same time as you're experiencing the context of what it is to be human and alive? And as I say that, I'm asking you to open up and experience that in this moment so that you know yourself what that answer is. What is it to feel an opening within your own soul, you know, within your own center of your own body? An opening where you begin to notice that divinity permeates you. And if you prefer a genius level of consciousness, one that's self-aware, one that sees reality accurately, one that's within the extremes of the potentials of what it is to be human and to be creative, to be wise, to be enlightened, you know? You don't have to believe in God to believe the fact that extraordinarily wonderful things have been experienced and done by people here. So what's the content? What's the constant in everyone that's had a impactful, inspiring experience towards others here? They were focused on being real. They were focused on being true to themselves. They were focused on being the best that they could be. Now, if you focus to be the best that you can be in a reality that diminishes other people, that judges them, that condemns them, then you're going to be a good enemy. You're going to be a successful destroyer or controller or manipulator. And while you can be the best at that and prosper in so many ways, you know, it's a fucking miserable life. And you came here to know the joy of what it is to go inside yourself and know what it is to live in bliss, to live in peace. And why not you? You know, you impact so many people. You're connected in so many different ways. Imagine what would happen to this earth, to this reality, if you woke up. Because I think you're cool with the concept that this life is the dream. Humanity is living a dream of being human, of being an individual. And so the awakened ones that people love to start religions after, they woke up in the dream of being human. And what did they wake up to? They woke up to creator consciousness, to cosmic consciousness, to allowing universal wisdom to be present consciously in them and flow through them without being judged by you, without being constrained or limited by you. You know? Because there is no you. We're not real. We're living a dream of life within a created reality, and we're the creator, experiencing ourselves as a creation. But each creation gets to choose when and how it goes home. Now, most of us wait until we die, then we go home. But the life worth living is awakening to your own authentic, eternal, and universal nature as how you experience life. So say yes to your freedom. Say yes to your understanding. Say yes to the fact that your soul is actually the source of light of the universe. all consciousness, an unconditional love for all creation. How does your reality shift? How does it mold and move when you experience the truth instead of the story of the life of you? I had a friend today tell me, consciousness, in each area of life is like coins in the ultimate hidden treasure. And we use various processes, each one of us, to find a way to live our lives successfully. And we grab one gold coin and run away with it and said, I found the truth. And yet Alibaba's cave, or the dragon's cave, full of the treasure of the universe, is there, and you stopped when you took the first coin, when all of it's yours. If you just enter that cave of the treasure of the universe, the treasure of eternity. And take it all. Not just one coin, not just a bucket full or a house full, but the universe is your creation. Everyone and everything in it. And everyone and everything in it is also the creator of the universe that they experience through their own unique point of view. But opening up to experiencing that universal point of view, all points of view, in regards to how the universe experiences your experience of yourself. Everything reflects back what's real in their experience of you. So how does the universe, all of it, not just the people you know, not just the people you deal with, but we're connected to everyone and everything, everywhere. Not just on this world, but all worlds. So when we experience all of those points of view in terms of how our awakening or non-awakening affects the rest of the consciousness of the universe, then we begin to understand how each aspect of consciousness affects every other one. And the way that we save this world is to open up and experience the truth of eternity in the experience of yourself. Because universal presence is inside everything in the universe. Unconditional love, which, how could this universe exist? All those near-death experiences you can watch on YouTube, what did they all have in common? An experience of love so profound, so beautiful, so transformational, that when they came back, they changed everything in their lives so that they could continue to live as that love that they experienced when they died. So how do we die and come back, awakened within the dream? I'm not going to take any extreme measures so that I actually die and actually experience what it is to know the universal love unfiltered through the body. I have to be willing to feel that through the filter of the body. Now, to the degree that you completely surrender so that the body melts, I don't know if there's much that you actually have to do. But I've been trying to surrender for decades, with some success, while at the same time eating pizza, bread, animals, lots of sugar, lots of candy. Putting things in my body where they're adversarial to the body. So how much easier would it be for me to be conscious as if I wasn't an enemy to my own life? And that's a question you should ask yourself, because I don't know what you are. I think you're about 10 years older than I am. So it's more important for you that you do it for yourself, because you want the quality of your life to be the very best that's possible for your body. And so you have to decide that you, in fact, are going to begin to enjoy your life in whatever way you can, and in such a way that it not only doesn't disturb anybody else's life, they want to choose better for themselves because of the life that they experience you to be. How do you live an impeccable life? Not from trying to, from the limited point of view that you already have. You know, there's some incremental improvements that you can do, of course, but can you actually experience a transcendent transformation from reading a book? I don't think so. Or believing a philosophy, or following a path from others that they openly say is the truth can't be spoken. It can only be experienced. Anything that is spoken is something that's describing something that's actually real. You know, you actually can't tell the truth. All you can do is say, is there in fact a truth that the realization within my experience of my own self, of my own body, is there a truth that if I opened into that and had an experiential understanding of that to the point that it opened me up and cleaned me out from those thoughts and ideas and belief systems and judgments and traumas and impacts and false truths. You know, because again, what's true in a world where everything's created? Only the circumstantial. So how can you get an eternal truth from a circumstantial experience? Well, you know, maybe there is a way. You know, this feather is exquisitely expressive of the marvel of creation. You know, it's perfect. And so if you look at the perfection of beauty in nature, a feather, a leaf, a flower, and you open up to the consciousness that inspired it to grow and become life, you can follow that back to the source of life, the source of truth, the experience of the universal, and actually the experience of that which inspired the universe to come into being, an expression. So if you go back to the time before time, the existence before the universe, and the who of the you, or the what that you were then, there was a point, a decision point, that said something like, it'd be so cool to create this universe that I just imagined. And from that choice, from that imagination, from that presence of creator consciousness is the truth of you. The universe came into creation. And what about the consciousness within the universe? Well, it's your creation. It's your consciousness. That's how your consciousness fills the universe, because you're the creator of the universe. And whatever consciousness is in the creation didn't come from something else. It came from the creator. So what are you actually? Well, right now, you're the guy, you're the man, you're the success, you're the failure, you're the good, you're the evil, you're the lost and the fallen. Contextually, in the dream of life, in the story of you, but beyond life and beyond the story, who are you? What are you? Well, beyond the story, it could be said pretty close to the truth that there is no you. There's no Richard. I mean, even if you're reincarnated 1,000,000 times, you won't be Richard anymore. You'll be something marvelously different and something really interesting because you hadn't done that before. Each time you do a life here, there's nothing like it, even though people say there's 1,000,000 yous in other universes and possibilities and stuff, but what do they really know? Did they experience themselves as that and have that be so real to them that it was more real than this dream, than this reality? I don't think so, because they're just talking about shit. They're not telling you how to experience it. So quit looking to others for guidance on how you awaken, because they either don't know or they can't do it for you. It has to be a choice that comes from within you. It has to be a willingness to say, I'm happy with the man that I am. I'm satisfied that I had all the experiences in life that I needed to have up to and including this moment. And I don't judge them. I forgive everyone that ever wronged me. And in that flow of forgiving everyone that ever wronged me comes back the reward of that, and that's the forgiveness of the universe for however you consider that you ever, or another point of view, considered that you wronged them. Wouldn't it be amazing if we forgave each other everything? Not just what we remember, but everything we forgot. Not just this lifetime and this body, but everybody in every lifetime. What if we said that it's time for a new humanity, a new reality, a new way of expressing life, a celebration of the self, the infinite nature, and the truth of us all? What if God realized in everyone and everything? What would that be like? Not just enlightenment, but universal truth, unconditional love. No resistance at all to being an infinite creator within the expression and experience of a body, within that life, within this creation, within this reality. Because this reality is the only one that matters. It's where you are. It's where your consciousness is. And your body is the life that you're perceiving reality through. And it's time for life to be a celebration for you. It's time for life to be a celebration for me too. It's time for life to be a celebration for everyone that chooses that for themselves. And how do we do that without examples? Well, if you don't have one, then you're the example, because everybody else is waiting on you. Or it could be, and I hope this isn't the truth of you or of me, and since I don't know the truth of it, then it's probably just me. What if this were the truth of my reality? What if this universe were already universal consciousness, every creation in it, except for me? What would the universe do? Well, the universe would give me the perception of life and of others that's entirely consistent with who and what I think I am. Every way that I limit my consciousness, every way that I condemn others, every way that I condemn myself, every way that I destroy myself through unconsciousness and confusion and bad intentions, because they all come back to you being something less than the truth. And it's truth that sets you free. So, what truth would set you free? If you opened into just simply saying, I'll experience that. I'll be a guinea pig for that. If the truth of you is universal and eternal, unconditionally loving, and just a magnificent thing to be, then sooner or later, you'd want yourself to experience that after experiencing all the horrors of what it is to be sleeping through life, identified with the body only. Believing that you're separate from everyone and everything else. What would it feel like if you knew the experience of the universe through the experience of your own body, your own mind? What if your mind and your body opened up in such a way that when you go inside, you find universal freedom, universal peace, universal understanding, unconditional love? All of that's there. All you have to do is notice it. Be willing to notice it. Be willing to choose it. And the more that you open into an experience that truth, then the freer you become. And I'd like to say that I've done that I've experienced that. I've had some amazing experiences, to be sure. But the consciousness that I'm at right now, the consciousness that I'm expressing as, the consciousness that I'm experiencing myself at is shit compared to the truth. It's a lot better than I've been before, but I had a long way to go and still have a seemingly infinite journey to move from my experience of who and what I am right now to my experiencing of the treasure of universal presence. But you notice just now, you began to wonder how much you could actually open yourself. So that's the time that you say, okay, I'll put my toe into that water. I'll put my finger in and test it, see what that's like. So close your eyes and kind of bow your head and say thank you. Thank you for this life. Thank you for this body. I appreciate this body. I love this body. And as you experience that, then you're giving the body permission to let go of everything that's traumatized it, everything that's impacted it, everything that's suppressed it, everything that's poisoned it even. Because what is life anyway? You know, is it light? Is it vibration? Is it magnetism? Well, it's certainly cells and molecules and atoms. And when you go subatomic, then what do you have? Waves. So all you are is a wave. What wave would you like to be? How would you like your body to harmonize? What would you like it to go into a harmonic resonance with? How about impeccability? How about self-awareness in a generously beautiful way for yourself? Because your responsibility for this world is in how you experience yourself. And this experience of being you is a shitty one. That's your universe, that's your creation. The rest of life is simply responding to who you believe that you are. Your belief is wrong. The screen's off.